My special police boyfriend who sacrificed on duty became the groom of my good friend. Why Anking greeted me indifferently, as if he had never known me. Later, when I was about to get married, he imprisoned me in his arms. Suzu, I won't allow you to marry him. My good friend Mia got married. She is a girl full of a sense of ceremony. After the wedding, she insisted on pulling me to take pictures with them. The newlyweds. My legs were as if filled with lead and I couldn't move an inch. I didn't dare to look at Wei Anking, for fear that if I opened my mouth, I would ask him why he had deceived me. Mia pulled me over carelessly. Smile nicely. I will select these photos and bind them into an album. She wasn't satisfied after taking several pictures in a row. At this moment, my smile was uglier than crying. I quickly apologized. Yao Yao. I'm sorry. I still feel a bit unwell. Mia asked with concern. What's wrong? Is it your gastroenteritis acting up again? I glanced at Wei Anking. He showed no emotion at all. But how could this be Wei Anking? Because he is a special policeman and often has to perform special tasks. He never leaves any photos to be used as leverage by criminals. Our relationship and his identity are rarely known except to our parents. He is dead, and only I remember the memories of our love. I nodded dejectedly. Well, it's okay now. I went to get an IV drip last night and I'm much better. I'm sorry. What nonsense are you talking? Your health is definitely the most important. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were unwell. Otherwise, I definitely wouldn't have been in a hurry with you. I forced a smile. Yao Yao. I'm very happy that you have found your own happiness. I wish you a long and happy marriage, and the early birth of a precious child. Mia was very enthusiastic. Ale wo. Suzui is unwell. Can you help me send Suzui home? I refused. No. It's not necessary. Today is your big day. How can I let your groom send me home? Whether the person in front of me is Wei Anking or not. I feel awkward. Mia is careless and doesn't feel this subtle atmosphere. It doesn't matter. Anyway, you live nearby. Besides, a husband is for being ordered around. Don't be polite to me. Then she turned to Wei Anking and said, Honey, it's hard on you. Wei Anking lovingly touched her head. Yes, dear. I turned my back. Almost in tears. Probably I can't bear to see this kind of happiness. Wei Anking's happiness with another woman. I couldn't resist Mia and got in the car with Wei Anking. Sitting in the car. We didn't say a word. He opened a gap and took out a cigarette and lit it. I frowned. Perhaps he is really not Wei Anking. Wei Anking knows that I have rhinitis and never smokes in front of me. When we arrived downstairs, I thanked him. Thank you. Goodbye. Never see you again. Wei Anking smoked and coldly uttered an As soon as I closed the car door, he couldn't wait to leave quickly. I stood downstairs for a very long time, facing the direction where he left. Just as I had stood every time I sent him on a mission before. And at those times, Wei Anking would smile indulgently at my nagging, laughing at me like an old woman. Then he bent down and kissed me gently. Suzui. I just like your chirping appearance. It's so nice. I hope I can listen to your nagging for a lifetime. At such times, I would always be puffed up with anger. If I don't nag at you a few more times, you won't remember. Didn't you get injured when you came back last time? Does it hurt? How could it not hurt? Last time when he came back, there was an extra centimeter long scar on his chest. The kind that was deep enough to see the bone and had healed. Its tan skin was cut by the tender red skin. For the days after he came back, I held him and cried every day. He would kiss my eyes. Don't cry. Suzui. I will feel distressed. And he had said, it doesn't hurt, to me many, many times. Although he is a special policeman, his job is very dangerous and highly secretive. Generally, he won't tell me where he goes on a mission. Then he is gone for 1 or 2 months. The relatives and friends at home don't think highly of our relationship. They say that we are apart more than together and feel that Wai Anking doesn't take the initiative to contact me very much. In their eyes, I am the one who is overly attached. Hearing such words, I would secretly hide and cry. I didn't dare to tell Wai Anking that my parents didn't like him, and always felt that he owed me. But I never think so. Only I know how much Wai Anking loves me. Love is always a matter of mutual willingness. There is no talk of indebtedness between us. Memories wrapped me in cold numbness little by little. It has been a year. I have been fantasizing that Wai Anking will appear in front of me, completely one day. It has been a year. A person who looks very much like him has appeared. But it's not Wai Anking. I turned and went upstairs. Tears stubbornly hung in my eyes and didn't fall. Wai Anking, I really miss you so much. I had a dream again. I dreamed of the day Wai Anking returned to the country. The black coffin was covered with a red flag. I supported Aunt Zhang, and my hands couldn't stop trembling. The atmosphere in the air condensed into ice. His comrades in arms looked at us with eyes full of self-blame and sadness. When Wai Anking was called, my eyes went dark and I almost fainted. Aunt Zhang and Uncle Zhang cried heartbreakably. I was called over by their instructor. Sister-in-law, this is what a king asked me to give you. It was a brand new medal. He heroically sacrificed himself to save hostages and became a martyr. In the past, his medals were all carefully collected and kept by me. The last time he gave me one, his chin rested on my shoulder. His strong arms held me in his embrace. He was gentle and lazy. He said to me, "This is my glory, shared only with you. I love you, Suzui. After I complete this mission, I will come back and marry you. Okay, Suzui?" My mind was full of memories of him and me. I looked at that medal and couldn't shed tears. Why didn't he give it to me himself? He will never come back. Never come back again. In my sleep, I couldn't cry out. Tears slowly slid down. I was in great pain. Without Wai Anking, every day is very difficult for me. I love him. He is dead and liberated. But I am living in agony. I want to break free from the nightmare and get rid of the pain. But the evil emotions drag me firmly into the boundless abyss. In a trance, I fell into a warm embrace. I opened my eyes and seemed to see Wai Anking. His eyes were shining, sly and gentle. Awake? Did our Suzui have a nightmare again? Like countless nights when he held me as I fell asleep, and I was awakened by nightmares, and then he comforted me. I can't tell whether it's a dream or reality. But the temperature coming from his body is so real. I reached out and touched his face, put my arms around his neck, and tears flowed wantonly at the corners of my eyes. I was afraid that he would disappear in the blink of an eye. Wai Anking, I miss you so much. I beg you, don't go. Okay? I miss you so much. When I woke up, a large area of the pillow was wet with tears. I was somewhat exhausted mentally and my throat hurt terribly. When I got up and poured a glass of water, it was still a little warm. It seems that the merchant didn't deceive me. This brand of thermos is really useful. Looking at the warm water in the thermos, I recalled the time when I was with Wai Anking. He also prepared warm water for me to get up. After packing up and going to work, on the subway, I seemed to see Wai Anking again. Looking up again, there were unfamiliar faces one after another. There are too many memories of Wai Anking in me. I can't forget them for a while. After leaving the subway station, I always felt that someone was following me. As soon as I turned around, I bumped into a boy. There was actually some resemblance to Wai Anking between his eyebrows and eyes. The younger brother blushed and stammered as he apologized. "I'm sorry, sister. It's okay. Just be more careful in the future." I looked at him and was a little distracted. The handsome younger brother grabbed me suddenly, then felt abrupt and let go. "Well, although it's a bit presumptuous, sister should have graduated from Zhongcheng University. I've seen you several times at school. Can I get to know you? Have we met? I have no impression." But I did graduate from Zhongcheng University. It seems that he is a junior from the same school. I was in a hurry to go to work and didn't have time to get entangled with him. Sorry. If there is really fate, we can get to know each other next time we meet. I cut off the high-quality peach blossom by myself. But I didn't expect to meet him again the next day. The handsome younger brother was wearing a white hooded sweatshirt and gray sweatpants. His face was fair and he was tall. He ran towards me. Sister. I subconsciously looked up. Is this guy following me? Sister. Nice to meet you. My name is Yi. Look at his innocent little eyes. The words were spoken by me yesterday. And the slap in the face is today. It really hurts. Su. Chen as in old things. Sui as in peace every year. Yi is very cheerful. From chatting, I learned that his parents are open-minded and his family is happy. He has a younger sister who is still in school. He has already graduated from university, and is 2 years younger than me. Currently, he is intern at the police station. Sui. Sister. Can I call you like this? I have ulterior motives. The ulterior motive of wanting Yi to replace Wei Anqing with his face. I know that what I am doing is very excessive. But from certain angles, it is really similar. Yi is very lively and completely like a junior high school student who has just fallen in love. When he has no tasks, he will ask me, Sui. Did you eat well? Sui. Look up and see how beautiful the blue sky is today. Sui. We can meet today. When he is not on duty, he will wait for me to get off work downstairs at my company, and take me to eat delicious food. I didn't reject his pursuit and thought we could get along and see if I can forget Wei Anqing. That would be good. When having a meal with Yi, I saw a familiar figure. My heart trembled and I couldn't help but take a second look. It was Mia and Wei Anqing. Wei Anqing put his arm around her waist and walked towards us. At this moment, my eyes flickered slightly, and I had countless thoughts. I still can't face a face exactly like Wei Anqing's and remain calm. Sui. Mia also saw me and ran towards me. Sui. I didn't expect to meet you here so coincidentally. Oh. You are having a meal with a handsome guy here? What's the relationship? You didn't even tell me. He seems to be a careful and handsome guy. I was a little embarrassed and didn't know how to introduce Yi. But Yi was naturally familiar. Hello. My name is Yi. I am a pursuer of Sui. I blushed. Too straightforward. Mia was also straightforward and patted Yi. Come on. Our Sui is very easy to pursue. Then she sat beside me and said quietly, although I haven't met your boyfriend who died in a car accident. But since you still can't forget him after such a long time, it means he is very, very good to you. Although I don't want to mention your sad thing either. But I think this boy is not bad and you can get along and see. I have found happiness. I also want you to be happy. I smiled and didn't know what to say. Except for my family who knows that Wei Anqing died in the line of duty. For others, I always said that he died in a car accident. Even Mia is no exception. She only knows that I have a boyfriend, but we haven't met each other. I looked up and bumped into Wei Anqing's cold eyes. My heart ached dull eye. I nodded. Yes. I will think about it carefully. Thank you. Yao. Mia patted my shoulder and gave me great courage with her eyes. I didn't expect that Wei Anqing would take the initiative. Yao. You and Sue haven't seen each other for a long time either. Why don't we eat together? It has indeed been 2 or 3 months since the last wedding banquet. I have been very busy. Mia intends to have a child. But her body has been in poor condition, and she is recuperating and preparing for pregnancy. I don't like Wei Anqing's initiative. I'm not used to it either. But I can't refuse. Mia was very excited. Sui. Is it okay? I pretended to be excited and suppressed my bitterness. Sure. After not seeing each other for a long time, she pulled me and chattered a lot about recent interesting things. I looked at Wei Anqing diagonally opposite and couldn't listen to a word. Yi took the lid and poured a glass of lemonade for me. My face was extremely hot. I want to add some ice. Yi said, your period is coming soon. It's better not to drink cold drinks. Be obedient. Good. I wished I could bury my head in the table. I didn't expect him to remember such small things clearly. And he said it in public. It was just like saying a very ordinary thing. Mio looked at me curiously. She nudged me with her elbow and said, not bad. Suzu, it seems that you're about to succeed in your pursuit soon. In the middle of the night, pain came from my lower abdomen. My forehead was covered with dense sweat. And my pajamas were soaked. My period had come. I turned on the light, got up to change the sheets, and then poured a cup of hot water from the thermos to make brown sugar and ginger tea. At this moment, there was no trace of sleepiness. All these things I'm doing now, Why Anking would have arranged them very well in the past. The deeper the night, the more I miss him. But he has long been dead. Even if there is someone exactly like him, it's no longer him. I glanced at the time. It was 2:40. This night was hard to endure. In the morning, I asked for a leave and lay at home all day, feeling groggy. Towards dusk, someone knocked on my door. It was Yi. Why didn't you answer the phone? You didn't reply to the messages either. What would I do if something happened to you? He said breathlessly. The elevator in our community requires a card to enter. I live on the floor number not provided. It seems that he must have climbed the stairs. My face was deathly pale, and the menstrual pain was severe. I didn't look at my phone all day, because I didn't expect anyone to come looking for me. I made way and invited him in. Sorry. I asked for leave today, and didn't look at my phone. Come in quickly. I poured him a glass of water. He took it but didn't drink it. He looked sulky. Suzu, I'm very worried about you. Don't not answer my calls in the future. Okay? You didn't reply to my messages. After work, I went to wait for you downstairs at your company. But your colleagues all said that you asked for leave today, and didn't come to work. I was almost worried to death. His tone was very much like a resentful little boyfriend. I found it a bit funny and grinned. Sorry. Yi, it won't be like this in the future. Although Yi is younger than me, he is very careful. He immediately noticed that my complexion was not good. He walked into my kitchen. Is the brown sugar in the cabinet? Then he took out the brown sugar from the cabinet and started boiling it in a pot. Sit on the sofa for a while. He was so considerate that I felt a bit embarrassed. After all, our relationship hasn't been confirmed yet. For relatively private matters like having my period, I wouldn't take the initiative to talk about it. It's hard for him to remember. Thank you, Yi. You looked at me seriously. Suzu, you don't have to be so polite to me. This is what I'm willing to do. But it was a bit abrupt to appear at your door without saying a word to you. Sorry. I'll ask for your consent next time before coming. I was a bit flustered. It's okay. Thank you for coming to see me. It seemed that he still had something to ask me. I said, do you have something to tell me? After seeing Yi off, I was in a trance. Although I know his intentions. But his confession today still shocked me a little. We've only known each other for 3 months. Can one really fall in love with someone in 3 months? My heart was in a mess. I ordered takeout. After eating, I was about to go downstairs to throw out the trash. The doorbell rang. When I opened the door, I saw Why Anking. My heart missed a beat. For a moment, I felt a bit suffocated. I had seen this scene countless times, and dreamed about it countless times. Dreamed that he came back and appeared in front of me. The look in his eyes when he looked at me hadn't changed at all. Even his tone was icy. I was about to call you. I didn't know why he was here. Oh, what's the matter? He was carrying 2 big bags. Yao Yao asked me to bring you some crabs. I reached out to take them. Why Anki was a bit displeased and frowned. Go put on your shoes first. I was stunned. This was so familiar. In the past, When I ran around at home without wearing slippers. Why Anking would also angrily tell me to put on my shoes like this. Was he really not Why Anking? I put on my slippers. May I come in? I nodded. Please come in. I'll put them in the refrigerator for you. They're not tied up. I'm afraid they'll pinch you. So that was it. While I was still in a daze, he had already walked to the refrigerator and started tidying up. Carefully emptied the dishes in the drawer and washed the drawer thoroughly. Go get some cotton rope. I'll tie up these crabs. Next time you can just take them out. Wash them. And steam them. Otherwise, I'm afraid they'll hurt you. I didn't have cotton rope at home. But I had the wool ball left over from knitting a scarf for Why Anking before. Why Anking? He turned to look at me. I realized it was wrong and immediately avoided his burning gaze. Sorry. You look a bit like my friend. I held up the wool ball. Can I use this? Why Anking seemed a bit disgusted but didn't say much. Okay. Do you know how to braid 3 strands? Make a thicker rope according to that method. His words seemed to have magic. I inexplicably obeyed obediently. His indifferent expression seemed to soften a bit. The crabs can be stored in the refrigerator for about 2 weeks if covered with a wet towel. You're on your period now. There's no need to rush to eat them. Wait until your body recovers before eating. He must have overheard it during yesterday's meal. I felt a bit embarrassed. Okay. Thank you. When Why Anking was about to leave, he glanced at the takeout box on the table. Eating these is not healthy. Perhaps he also felt that he had said too much. Silently, he walked to the table and tidied up my takeout box. I quickly stopped him. No. There's no need. I can't tidy up myself. Eat less to ache out. It's not good for your health. Recently, you should eat something nutritious. At this moment, I felt that he was Why Anking. I asked cautiously. Are you a twin? Why Anking is an only child. But I still didn't want to accept that there was someone exactly like him in this world. I found it hard to believe. Why Anking didn't look back. No. On the 8th of every month, I would go to Why Anking's parents' house to visit them and bring them some fruits and necessities. The 2 old people were already gray-haired and not as energetic as before. Seeing me coming, the 2 old people were very happy. Suzui, you brought things again. Didn't I tell you not to spend so much? Mother Zhang warmly received me. Good child. Why are you here so early today? Aren't you still at work? I missed Auntie. So I asked for leave for the afternoon. How about we have a meal together tonight? I'll be the chef. Okay? Father Zhang was also very happy. I, an old man, am blessed. Mother Zhang helped me. She dodged her eyes and felt a bit guilty. Suzui. It's our king who is sorry for you and has delayed you for so long. Auntie knows that I shouldn't interfere in your affairs. A king has been gone for more than a year. Your uncle and I are getting older year by year. Frankly speaking, we don't know how many years we have left to live. But you are different. You still need to have your own brand new life and not be stuck on a king. Your uncle has an old friend who has a son. Although he is 2 years younger than you. He is upright and reliable. Now he works in a public institution. Although he is still at the grassroots level, there is a lot of room for promotion. Your aunt and uncle think this way. Since we know the family well. If you like him. We both know him, and can take care of you and be your support so that others won't bully you. But we won't force you. It's up to you. Mainly. We are just matchmaking. But the decision is still in your hands. Don't force yourself just to take care of us old couple. I know your temperament. But people leave and the tea cools. A king has been sacrificed for so long. We should also look ahead. Right. You are a good child. I really like you. Your uncle and I have long regarded you as our prospective daughter-in-law. But unfortunately, our old Zhang family doesn't have this blessing. Suzui. I didn't want to disappoint her kindness. Auntie. I'll go and meet him. It's not for any other reason. Indeed. I'm at the age when I should get married. Since it's someone that uncle and aunt think highly of, I have nothing to worry about. We didn't procrastinate and quickly determine the meeting time. I tittied up and was about to get off work for today's blind date. I specially wore a new dress. Recently, he hasn't contacted me either. He said there was something at home and would come to see me again after handling it. I replied okay, and there was no more news. When I arrived at the appointed coffee shop, soon, a tall man sat in front of me. Hello. I am Yi. I subconsciously looked up. Yi? After chatting, I found it quite interesting. How could there be such a coincidence in the world that I could meet two people with the same name in the same city? And even people who work in the same unit. Both are from the Liu Hai Public Security Bureau in Zhongcheng City. Both have a younger sister in college. Both are called Yi. Although I don't know what your relationship with Yi is, I should know Yi himself. It's funny to say that Zhongcheng City is so small. Soon Yi appeared in front of me. He emerged from behind me and glared at the man opposite me angrily. What's the use of you? Stand down. He turned around. Although it's a bit impolite, I still want to say it directly. Suzui? Why is it you? Sure enough, it was him. I'm here for a blind date. I asked knowingly. What about you? Yi sat down with a smile. Without hesitation. What a coincidence. Me too. But to be honest, it was a bit awkward. The kind of awkwardness for both of us. I was introduced by Aunt Zhang. Before you came, you should have heard your parents talk about the relationship between me and Aunt Zhang and Uncle Zhang. Right? Yi's ecstatic expression. I heard. But I didn't expect you to be Big Brother Jiang's girlfriend. At first, when my parents asked me to come for a blind date, I was very reluctant. Because I like you and I can't accept other girls anymore. I didn't expect it to be you. It's good that he knows. I was direct. Yi. Why don't we give it a try? People always have to look ahead. He told me that he didn't mind that I had Wei Anking in my heart. After all, he was already dead. He wouldn't be jealous of Wei Anking. He would take his place and take good care of me. He excitedly ran out of the restaurant and quickly bought a bouquet of flowers and came back. Suzui, I will definitely love you well. Sometimes I wonder what virtues I have to deserve such pure love from a person. To my surprise, Yi noticed me when I was in college. At that time, when I just joined the student union, I didn't understand anything. The senior in our department was too overbearing and was extremely good at passing the buck. Then I was made a scapegoat. He said it was all my fault. But I really confirmed with the senior several times that time. But I had no evidence. No one believed me. Only you stood up and spoke for me and explained the misunderstanding for me. Later, when I wanted to know you, I heard that you had quit the student union. At that time, it was also graduation season. I didn't have time to ask for your contact information and missed it. Fortunately, I'm lucky enough to meet you again. I decided to date Yi and try this love that may not lead to a result. Although Yi is younger than me, he considers things very thoroughly. He seriously planned our future. Looking at the shining light in his eyes, I think I should let go of my past life and take the next step in life well. After saying good night to Yi, I looked at the top chat box on my WeChat. It was still Wei Anking. The profile picture was still the one I changed for him. Looking at the screen full of green frames, I can't tell what it feels like in my heart. It's time to let go of my inner knot. Wei Anking. I have dreamed of you a lot recently and also seen a person who looks almost exactly like you. But I know that it's not you. Although he looks very much like you. And even his inadvertent actions at some moments make me think it's you. How I wish you could stand in front of me intact. Unfortunately, there is no if. 2 days ago, I went to see your parents. They are in good health. You don't have to worry too much. I will take good care of your parents as if they were my own parents. By the way, I also want to tell you a piece of good news. I'm in a relationship. The other person is a policeman. You may also know him. He was introduced to me by your mother. His name is Yi. Speaking of it, it seems that I have quite a fate with people surname Zhang. Although he hasn't become a regular employee yet, he is sunny and positive and is very good at taking care of my emotions. Compared to you? Almost. He can always bring me a lot of positive energy and is very careful in many things. He knows the story between me and you. You should not mind me sharing it with him. Right? This year I was very painful, and felt that I couldn't live without you. Thinking about this kind of thought is quite selfish. But occasionally at a certain moment, I seem to really not be able to hold on. Yi is a bit like that straw, letting me hold on to the expectation and hope for life. I should also let go of the past and say goodbye to you. I'm going to embrace a new life. Why Anking? Don't come to my dreams anymore. My little boyfriend will be jealous. There should be a long time when I won't disturb you. You must be so annoyed. I keep chattering nonstop to your WeChat every day. Why Anking? You must also hope that I am happy. Right? Why Anking? Goodbye. I cried all night in front of my phone. And the longing in my heart did not diminish at all. This night, Why Anking came to my dream again. In pain. I seemed to be wrapped in a warm embrace again. I sobbed as if I had grabbed something. Arsuzui. Did you have a nightmare? I opened my eyes and saw Why Anking again. Why Anking? Suzui. Be good. He gently stroked my head. Suzui. Be good. Let me tell you a story. Will you go to sleep? His voice was right by my ear. So real. But this is a dream. Why Anking barged into my dream again on his own initiative. I stroked his face. The temperature from my fingertips made my heart tremble. And tears came out instantly. Why Anking? You always barge into my dream without my consent. How can I let go like this? Why Anking kissed my forehead. Sorry. Suzui. Sorry. Sorry. Can you forgive me? I was even more painful. Why Anking's life is forever frozen. He can't come back anymore. I saw with my own eyes that he was lying in the coffin, still covered with a red flag. His face was pale. His lips were purple. And there was a bullet hole in his neck. I cried heartbreakabig. Nightmares again, and again intensified my longing for Why Anking. I want to forget him. But I am not reconciled. He didn't even have time to say goodbye to me. But I know that I have to let go. Why Anking? I miss you so much. I really miss you so much. Please. Come back. This night was like a dream, and not a dream. When I woke up in the morning and looked at myself in the mirror, I was much more tired. I simply put on some makeup. Soon the doorbell rang. It was Yi. Suzui. Didn't you sleep well last night? I invited him in and made up like casually. Yes. Probably because I drank some coffee before going to bed. Where shall we go today? Well, how about going on a picnic? I nodded. Okay. Wait for me. I'll change into a piece of clothing. When I came out after changing clothes, Yi suddenly asked me. Suzui. Did someone come to visit at home yesterday? Visit? I felt a bit puzzled. I don't like inviting friends to my home very much because it's very troublesome to clean up. I shook my head. No. What's wrong? It's nothing. Remember to close the doors and windows before going to bed. Our bureau has received several cases of indoor theft. After coming back from the picnic, I was exhausted. Yi cooked himself. In less than an hour, he made a fragrant braised pig's trotters and stir-fried white lotus root. It tasted good. I joked with a smile. I really found a treasure. After eating, we sat on the sofa and watched a movie. He sat stiffly and looked a bit silly. We chose the old movie Titanic. It was originally agreed with Why Anking that we would watch it together after he came back from his mission. Unexpectedly, he never came back. So I haven't watched this movie. The atmosphere was a bit awkward. I turned to look at Yi. His face was flushed. I found it a bit funny, and couldn't help but laugh. I took the initiative to move closer to him. Yi, I'm very tired. Can I lean on your shoulder? Yi's ears were like cooked shrimp. He stammered. Why, yes. Like a pure little milk dog. While watching, I actually fell asleep. When I woke up, I was lying on his lap. I hurriedly got up. Sorry, I may be too tired. It's okay. You don't have to say sorry to me. You are very cute when you are asleep and you also talk in your sleep. I didn't believe that the angle lying on his lap could be cute at all. I would call this angle a deadly angle. Unexpectedly, Yi saw it. I really wanted to thank him. I was very curious. What did I say in my sleep? Don't say anything unpleasant. You called Big Brother Jiang's name. Isn't this embarrassing? My face flushed red. I looked at Yi guiltily. I'm sorry. Yi, I will try hard. Yi smiled slightly. I will also try hard. Try to make you fall in love with me. You don't have to forget Big Brother Jiang. Since you can't forget him, it shows that Big Brother Jiang is very good to you. I should do better than him. This ideological awareness of Yi was unexpected to me. I felt a little guilty. I will go to another province to investigate a case in 2 days. I won't be in Zhongcheng. I was a bit nervous. Is it to catch bad guys? Yi said that there was a murder case that required cooperation between their bureau and the criminal investigation team. As an intern, he had signed up for this Operation Ask. I was a bit worried. I repeatedly told him to be careful. Yi replied to me on the car to Hai Cheng. We have set off. Don't worry too much. I will definitely return safely because I still can't bear to part with you. I stared at my phone in a daze. This scene is too familiar. Okay. Report safety to me. In the following days, I would receive his WeChat reports every day. Suzui. This is my lunch today. It's not bad. My master and my senior brothers take good care of me. Please rest assured. Suzui. It's a bit cold in Hai Cheng today. When squatting on the criminal suspect today, I sneezed and almost ruined the big event. My master scolded me. Suzui. It's getting cold. Have you put on more clothes? I'll be back in 3 days. Suzui. We have caught 2 minions of the criminal gang today. We will be able to capture them all tomorrow. I miss you so much. Suzui. I have made great contributions this time and caught the mastermind. I will be back in Zhongcheng soon. I'm looking forward to seeing you. When I saw each WeChat message, I would reply. Basically, it was in the next minute after he sent me a WeChat message. Otherwise, if I replied to him at other times, I was worried that it would disturb him. Yi's flight to Zhongcheng is at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Although it is a charter flight, I probably won't be able to see him, but I still really want to pick him up. I bought a bouquet of flowers and set off from the company. When I arrived at the airport, I just happened to meet Yi and them coming out. They were in plain clothes. Yi was wearing a white sweatshirt and had an outstanding posture. Yi quickly found my direction, waved at me, then said something to the man next to him and rushed towards me. I was hugged tightly by him. Suzui. I miss you so much. I gently patted his back. To be honest, I miss him quite a bit too. I miss you too. He let go of me, with curved eyebrows. Really? This is the first time you said you miss me. I handed the flowers to him. Congratulations on your triumphant return. He took them. Thank you. Suzui. I like it very much. After having a simple meal, I said I would send Yi home. Yi, Suzui. I want to watch a movie. Well, I can't really refuse. After not seeing each other for so long, I do miss him a bit. I held Yi's hand. Do you want to watch it in the cinema or at home? Let's watch it at home. I want to have time alone with you. Yi seemed to be even more clingy to me. I didn't refuse him. He had dark circles under his eyes. After being on a business trip for a week, he probably didn't sleep well. It was very late when we finished tittying up after returning home. I glanced at Yi. Why don't you take a shower first, and then come out to watch? Yi's face flushed instantly. I repeatedly assured him. Don't worry. I won't do anything to you. So far, we haven't kissed. He respects my wishes very much. Many things are decided by me. He never forces me to do what I don't want to do. Describing Yi as a pure little milk dog is very appropriate. After taking a shower, he tittied up the bathroom very cleanly. There wasn't a drop of water on the floor. Yi, if you are always so capable, I'm afraid I will be a useless person all my life. Yi grinned. I am also willing to be with you all my life. I didn't react yet. When I finally understood, he was already smiling brightly. My cheeks flushed. I didn't mean that. Yi walked up to me. It's good that you subconsciously accept me. I will continue to work hard. I twitched the corner of my mouth and didn't say anything in the end. During the movie, both of us were very quiet. He held my hand tightly and stroked it again and again. After watching the movie, it was very late. I was hesitating whether to let him stay overnight. Yi, it's a bit late today. Why don't you make do in the living room? Go back to work tomorrow? Yi's face flushed instantly. He stammered. No. There's no need. It's only 11 o'clock. I'll just go home. I'm afraid you won't be used to it if I'm here. He took his coat. You should carefully lock the doors and windows. I'll go home first. After seeing Yi off, I listened to his words and obediently checked the doors and windows. Sure enough, I found that the glass window of the storage room was not closed tightly. I quickly fastened it. Then I took a shower and slept peacefully. Recently, I have dreamed of wanking a bit too many times. So many times that it's ridiculous. So many times that when I face Yi, I feel a bit of shame. In the haze at night, I felt the warmth of my chest. Just as I was trembling uneasily, I suddenly woke up. My calf cramped, and the pain made me grimace. But I was very sleepy. I could only straighten my leg and then curl my toes to relieve it. The internet said this method is useful. Did you have a cramp? I heard Yanking's voice ring in my ear. It hurts so much. I responded vaguely. He kissed me as if punishing me. You heartless little thing. I cried loudly. Who the hell is heartless? He left me and happily ascended to heaven. You are heartless. Your whole family is heartless. Do you know how I have lived these days? You must not love me anymore. That's why he left me alone. Yanking leaned over. The warm breath sprayed on my face. He kissed away my tears. With a punishing nature. Little crybaby. Who said I don't love you? Woo woo woo. It's so fucking sad. Yanking doesn't love me anymore. You don't love me anymore. That's why you are so cruel and leave me alone. Yanking, don't come to my dreams anymore. I will miss you more and more, and can't let you go more and more. I have made it very clear in the WeChat message I sent you. I have a boyfriend. I want to let you go. I was sobbing. I didn't hear very clearly what I said myself. The breath at the nape of the neck was getting hotter and hotter, and it felt as if there were tears dripping. For the first time, I truly felt that Yanking was by my side. Suzy, don't leave me. Don't abandon me. The warmth burrowed into my neck. In a half-dream state, I tightly hugged the warmth in front of me. I'm really selfish. I want Yi's love, but I can't bear to forget the dead Yanking. When I woke up the next day, my calves still hurt a little, but it had eased a lot. When I washed up and looked in the mirror, I found a red mark on my neck. Very much like a hickey. I was a little flustered. Hastily, I pulled open my collar and hair and leaned closer to look more carefully. I'm not an inexperienced little girl. This is a hickey. But it's impossible. I've been living alone for a long time. But on closer inspection, it didn't seem like it either. Because it was a very small mark. Like being scratched by myself. Yi came to my house to pick me up. When he saw the mark on my neck, he was also obviously stunned. I was a bit embarrassed and quickly covered that mark. Even I myself felt that it looked like a hickey. It seems that I did it myself. Yi's eyes darkened, and he began to check the door lock. This door lock has been pried open. I was so scared. I checked my home again. Nothing was missing. There's nothing lost at home. Yi patted my shoulder. Go pack your clothes and stay at my place for 2 days. I can sleep at the bureau these days. I was also afraid. What if there really is a pervert? Okay. I stayed at Yi's house for 2 days. He was very busy these 2 days. After work, he hurried back to have a meal with me and then rushed back to the bureau. When he came back that day, he said to me, I've already changed the door lock. But if you want to stay here for a few more days, that's fine too. Yi lives alone. His house is very clean inside and out. In other words, there is not much sense of life. On the first day I came, I bought 2 or 3 bottles of green plants. Yi was also very satisfied. What I was more concerned about was, has anyone entered the house? I sleep very soundly. If I were really carried away, it's not impossible. He avoided looking at me and his words were evasive. Yes. But we haven't found out who. I always felt that he knew who that person was. Could it be someone he knew? Since he didn't want to say, I didn't ask anymore. From now on, try to lock the bedroom door when sleeping for more safety. I nodded, buried my head and ate. I returned to my own home that night. I checked inside and out again to make sure there was no problem. I sent a message to Yi, confirmed no problem. Yi replaced a smart password lock with monitoring and listening functions. I checked the price online. It's not cheap. I transferred the money for the lock to him. He immediately returned it. Suzu I. We are boyfriend and girlfriend. There's no need to be so clear-cut. I thought, well, then I'll find a way to make it up in other ways later. If I'm to clear-cut and make you feel uncomfortable. Okay then. I'm going to sleep now. Good night. After washing up, I lay on the bed and soon fell asleep. The next day, I was in great spirits at work. When I arrived at the company, I found the office was extremely busy. I pulled my colleague Zhao Chen and asked. Only then did I know that a new vice president would come. Sister Suzu I heard he is extremely handsome. He is also the son-in-law of our major shareholder. The son-in-law of the major shareholder? I had an ominous premonition. As far as I know, the largest shareholder of the company I work for is Mia's father. The Shen family's business is very large and involves a wide range of industrial chains. I was able to enter this company thanks to Mia. Oh. Really? I was already a bit absent-minded. If it was really Wei Anking, how would I face him? This face almost identical to my dead boyfriend. Until the meeting, I saw Wei Anking. Although I was mentally prepared. When he appeared, my heart still missed a beat. Wei Anking was introducing himself. I didn't listen to a single word. I always felt that there was a gaze staring at me. I was too to look up and find it. Chen Lo? Perhaps he is really Chen Lo. Because Wei Anking is dead. When I heard the words, meeting adjourned, I couldn't wait to grab my materials and leave quickly. Unexpectedly, when it was almost time to get off work, Xiao Chen came to me slyly. Sister Suzu General Manager Su is looking for you. I didn't react for a moment. General Manager Su? Oh. Did he say what it was about when looking for me? Well, no, but he asked you to bring your notebook in. Good luck. I'm off work first. Goodbye. Sister, Suzu Love you. Me. This naughty girl runs faster than a rabbit. I grabbed my notebook and came to the door of his office. I knocked 3 times gently. Come in. The male voice coming from inside was deep and powerful. With a sandy magnetism. I pushed the door and entered. Zhang. General Manager Su. Are you looking for me? I almost blurted out Wai Anking's name. He was also stunned. Sit down. I sat down obediently, my heart full of unease. Send me the annual plan for the second half of the year on WeChat. I want to see it. Does it mean that we need to add WeChat? I was a bit hesitant. Me, General Manager Sue. How about I send it to your email? Don't you have WeChat? He retorted. I haven't had time to set up my work email yet. Send it to me on WeChat first. Shall I add you or will you add me? Well, it seems there is no room for refusal. I took out my phone and opened the scan function. I'll add you. Wai Inking picked up his phone and opened his own business card QR code. When I added him, I saw his profile picture. For a moment, my fingers felt a bit numb. Because this profile picture is exactly the same as Wai Inking's. I stood still. Is there a problem? I clicked the add button, my emotions churning. He quickly accepted. I dragged the file into the chat box and clicked send. I was on pins and needles. I couldn't leave nor stay. After a while, he spoke. What kind of table is this? My mind was in a daze. I weakly replied. A table. Facing this face. I really couldn't focus. Are you afraid of me? I didn't know whether to nod or shake my head. No. Then focus. Finish it sooner so you can get off work sooner. Wai Inking was not very satisfied with the table I made and asked me to work overtime to revise it. Looking at a bunch of data. It's not a problem to revise. But I had made an appointment with Yi to have a meal together today. It seems I'm going to break the appointment. General Manager, Sue. I'll make a phone call. I took my phone and went out. I called Yi outside the door. I'm sorry. I suddenly received a notice of overtime work. I can't have a meal with you. Yi's side was very noisy. It's okay. You go ahead and be busy. Call me when you get off work. I'll pick you up. Okay. Then you have to eat well. Perhaps also because of his profession. He often has to go on duty without having time to eat. Recently, he has had some stomach problems. I was a bit worried. Yi seemed a bit tired. Okay. Don't worry too much about me. Remember to call me. Okay. I miss you. There was a silly laugh from the other end. I miss you too. Suey. I love you. Little milk dog is so sweet. I turned around still wearing a smile when I saw Wai Inking looking at me. I put away my phone. Resigned. Revise it well. Finish and leave here quickly. Looking at this face, I couldn't concentrate. Your boyfriend? Me, yes. General Manager Sue has also met him. Yi. He lowered his head and worked. Yes. Hurry up. Yao Yao is still waiting for me to go home for dinner. TSK. I blurted out. Who doesn't need to eat? Only you need to eat? I quickly shut up and sincerely apologized. I'm sorry. General Manager Sue. I didn't mean it. Wai Inking said it was okay. But for the next 20 minutes, he kept finding faults. I wanted to get angry. But thinking that this was Mia's husband, I swallowed my anger. I'll revise it right away. I picked up my computer and was about to leave. Wai Inking stopped me. Where are you going? Revise it here. I gritted my teeth and turned my back. Okay. General Manager Sue. Wai Inking didn't say anything else. Until 2 hours later. My stomach crumbled. Wai Inking's phone rang. It was Mia's call. He answered without hesitation and put it on speaker. Honey. When are you coming home? I'm waiting for you to have dinner. Wai Inking's tone was gentle. Completely different from when he talked to me. Be good. Eat first without waiting for me. I still have some work to deal with. Okay. Then I won't wait for you. Have you seen Suey? Remember to say hello for me. Wai Inking had a half smile. I've seen her. Okay. See you at home. I wished I could crawl under the table. Coming out of the office building. The lights were brilliant. Shall I give you a ride? Why Anking asked. I refused. Thank you. General Manager Sue. My boyfriend is coming to pick me up. You go first. Yao Yao is still waiting for you at home. Why Anking looked at me and said nothing. He drove away. Soon. Yi came. I looked very dejected. Yi opened the car door for me and gently asked me, "What's wrong?" I looked in the direction where Wei Anking had left. A new vice president has come. He's someone I know. Yi seemed a bit nervous. Who? You also know him. Mia's husband. His name is Chen Luo. He helped me into the car very carefully, returning to the driver's seat and fastening his seat belt. Chen Luo? Oh, him. I quickly changed the topic. I'm so hungry. Let's go eat. Okay. Is barbecue okay? Barbecue? I love it. E is very good at knowing my tastes. He gave a silly smile and pinched my cheek. Sister. Then let's go. This kid is getting bolder and bolder. After a full meal, when I stood up, I realized I had eaten too much. It was still early. Let's take a walk before going back. Yi grinned foolishly. I'll listen to you. With the continuous flow of people, he always protected me with one hand. The autumn in Zhongcheng is very comfortable, and even the mood is much relaxed. Suddenly, he stopped in front of a wedding dress shop. His eyes stern. Suzui, you must look very beautiful in that wedding dress. I also turned my head. The wedding dress is not pure white, but has a slight pinkish tint. The skirt is sprinkled with broken diamonds and looks very beautiful under the illumination of the light. It must not be cheap. I feel sorry for the money. Generally, those placed in such display windows are treasures. Unexpectedly, he raised his chin arrogantly. Our Suzui is certainly worthy of the best. Can it bloom when you wear it? Yi thought seriously. It won't bloom, but it will make you more beautiful. I want to make you the most beautiful bride in the world. I was a little embarrassed. Yi, what's wrong with you today? I feel a little strange. My heart is beating a little fast. Suzui, I want to marry you. I feel that everything is a bit fast. He told me that he wants to be with me forever, and will always love me. I believe it. Because the way he looks at me is exactly the same as the way Wei Anking used to look at me. Yi said, Suzui, you don't have to reply to me in a hurry. I'll give you enough time to consider. If you think our relationship hasn't reached the point of marriage, it doesn't matter. Let's slow down our steps again until you want to get married. You don't have to worry about me changing my mind because except for you, I can't like anyone else anymore. I like you. I don't want to force you. I'm still young and my career still needs to go further. Thank you for accompanying me to grow up. Suzui, it's so good to meet you. Loving you is true. And wanting to marry you is also true. If you don't want to get married yet, it's okay. You don't have to blame yourself for certain reasons. We are a two-way choice. When you want to get married, tell me. I'll go buy a diamond ring and marry you gloriously. It's impossible not to be moved. Yi's love is passionate. With the impulse of youth and purity. I took his arm and pulled him to stop. I looked at him piously. Yi, wait for me a little longer. Okay? I admit that I am a little selfish. Wei Anking is like a scar on my heart. He once loved me so passionately, but he left forever. Now I want to erase the scar and build a castle in my heart again, belonging to me and Yi. I need some time. Yi kissed my forehead. Okay. I will. He is extremely kind to me. I stood on tiptoe and kissed him for the first time. I shyly lowered my head. Yi, thank you for loving me. Yi is like a ball of fire, lighting up my originally cold and dark world. In countless days and nights, looking at the metal and letter left by Wei Anking for me, I always wanted to end myself and follow him. Yi is the rope when I fall into the abyss. I am grateful to him for saving me. The years come as they come, And it seems that there is no longer the feeling of anticipation as before. He gave me a large bouquet of pink roses and bought me a diamond necklace. I am delighted. Sure enough. My mom said that no one can resist roses plus diamonds. If you don't like it, add another bouquet. I squinted and smiled. Thank you, little brother. He leaned close to my ear and said in a low voice, You're welcome, sister. On my birthday, I announced ye on my moments. It's a group photo of us. With the caption, Thank you for loving me. Thank you for everyone's blessings. 25-year-old Sue is growing up well. He also posted a moments, Happy birthday to my Suzui. May Suzui be safe all the years. In the meantime, I received a call from my mother. She said she saw my moments. He is good looking and told me to seize the opportunity and choose a date to prepare for a happy event. I glanced at E and said to my mom, I'll take him back during the spring festival. Then I said some intimate words. After hanging up the phone, I found you looking shy. Giggle. Giggle. He grinned foolishly. I think he is extremely lovely. Look at his worthless appearance. The next day, when I went to the office, I was surrounded by colleagues. Xiao Chen grabbed me. Sister Sue's UI is amazing. Your boyfriend is so handsome. Is he older or younger? Younger little milk dog. You deserve it. I teased. If you like it, I'll ask him if there is another one like this in his bureau and introduce him to you. Xiao Chen was extremely happy. Sister Sue's UI is really loyal. The topic changed. President Sue is looking for you. Happiness disappeared from my face. After getting permission, I entered his office. President Sue, are you looking for me? Why Anking didn't even raise his eyelids. You didn't do the plan. My heart skipped a beat. What plan? I don't remember what task he assigned. Oh no. I didn't look at my phone anymore after getting off work yesterday. I quickly took out my phone and checked WeChat. Sure enough. Why Anking sent me a WeChat message half an hour after getting off work. I was immersed in joy and didn't look carefully. New product sales design plan. Send it to my email after finishing it. Such a short message. I explained, President Sue. There was a reason for yesterday. I'm sorry. I'll do it right away. No need. I've done it. Then why did you call me in for nothing? I held back my anger and replied with a smile. Thank you for your hard work. President Sue. Thank you, President Sue. Immediately after, he picked up a pink bag from beside his feet. Yao Yao asked me to give this to you. She also asked me to tell you happy birthday. Sue's UI. His words had no warmth at all. It was like completing a task. He said it mechanically. I was stunned. How long has it been since I heard these 6 words, happy birthday? Sue's UI? My eyes were slightly moist. I looked elsewhere. Thank Yao Yao for me. My mood was a bit complicated. Someone with the same face as Wai Anking said happy birthday to me. Unfortunately, it's not the real Wai Anking. But I clearly know that he is not Wai Anking. He is Chen Luo. He is me as Chen Luo. I didn't feel dejected for long, and soon got out of that emotion. I sent a WeChat message to Yi. I want to eat your braised pig's trotters at night. Yi didn't have any tasks today, and quickly replied to my message. Okay. Sister. I chuckled. Recently, this guy doesn't know what's gotten into him. He loves to call me sister. Don't say. It's quite sweet. Go to your place or mine? When having a meal, I ask you to moving, and live with me. His face instantly turned red. Isn't this not so good? I was hugging a pig's trotter and gnawing on it. Isn't the lease on your house about to expire soon? Coincidentally, I still have an empty bedroom here. What is this silly boy thinking? Oh. He was obviously a little disappointed. After we finished eating, we were lying on the sofa. Yi said, Sui, I may not be able to spend New Year's Eve with you this year. I immediately sat up. Why? Last month, our bureau tracked down a perverted murderer. From Hai Cheng. and there was a murder in the area under the jurisdiction of me and my master. We must go. Moreover, this murderer is quite important to the bureau. The bureau chief personally gave the order to catch him. So, I understand. What I can do is try not to let you worry. When will you leave? It's almost New Year's Eve. There's only more than a week left. The days in Zhongchang are getting colder and colder. It must be even colder in Haichang. Tomorrow afternoon's flight. Yi is also reluctant to part with me. He sat up and hugged me tightly in his arms. Sui Sui. Happy New Year. I pouted. This isn't New Year yet? Then I'm afraid I won't be able to tell you in person when I'm on a mission. I'll tell you in advance. This way, I'll be the first person to say Happy New Year to you. I tightly hugged his slender waist. Yi, you must come back safely. I'm so afraid. Afraid that the happiness in my hands will turn into nothing like this. Yi packed me. I will definitely come back safely. I hugged his neck and kissed him. Yi, I seem to be more and more unable to leave you. At the beginning, when I was with him, it was my selfishness at work. Yi's passionate love wrapped me up layer by layer. I fell in love again. His breath was right by my ear. He deliberately blew on my ear. I felt itchy and dodged him. Don't be naughty. This time, Yi didn't look aggrieved. Instead, he held my head. Sister, I want to kiss you. I dodged with a smile. I already rewarded you just now. It's not enough. Their bureau arranged for transportation. So I didn't go to see Yi off. I took a picture of my lunch and sent him a WeChat message. I'm meeting well. Yi quickly replied, Sister is so good. I can already imagine him smiling gently on the other side of the screen with the corners of his mouth raised. Until 11 o'clock at night. He called me via video. He wasn't wearing a shirt on his upper body. There were still water droplets hanging on his hair. He was wiping it with a towel. Sister, are my 8-pack ABS charming? Even though I'm older than him. I blushed. Show off. He put on his clothes and draped the towel over his shoulder. Against his even whiter skin. The younger brother is so cute. So fresh and tender that people can't help but want to pack him. Have you confirmed that person's location? The sooner it's confirmed and caught, the sooner Yi can come back to me. We greeted the Haicheng Public Security Bureau. The brothers on the highway said he hasn't come down yet. It's estimated that he will arrive tomorrow morning. My master said that we should rest up tonight and have a good sleep. This person is very cunning and not easy to deal with. I'm a bit worried. After all, Yi is a newbie. I've watched a lot of police and gangster movies. When encountering this kind of desperado, and you're a novice, listen more to your master in everything and don't act rashly. Do you know? They are all desperados. Maybe one more life doesn't matter to them. This kind of person is the scariest. He lay on the bed with his phone propped up on the pillow and nodded obediently. I know. Sister. I talked to him about a lot of things in the company on my own. For example, how Wei Anking made things difficult for me and the company and recently gave me a lot of things to do as if on purpose. Yi bared his teeth. Sister. When I come back, I'll help you beat him up. How dare he bully our Sui Sui like this? I won't let him go. His cute and fierce look made me laugh. When I still wanted to say something to him, I saw that he had closed his eyes and fallen asleep on the other end of the screen. I'm so lucky to have such a lovely boyfriend, I said softly. Good night, my Yi. When I woke up in the morning, my phone was already extremely hot. Looking at the time, it was only a little after 5. The video must have been disconnected not long ago. I looked at WeChat. There were only a few hasty words from him. Sui Sui. I'm going on a mission. I didn't reply, afraid of disturbing him. Until at noon when I was having a meal. He called me and said that the person had already gotten off the highway and checked into a hotel. If everything goes smoothly, the arrest will be carried out tonight. Sui Sui. I can come back and spend New Year's Eve with you. I counted down the days. Every day, I worked with full energy. Tried to finish all the projects before the end of the year and strive for a good year. As soon as I got up this morning, I felt completely weak and had an indescribable dizziness. Sure enough, when I was washing up, I found that my period had come. Immediately, I became extremely irritable. The restlessness was written all over my face. As soon as I sat at my workstation, Xiao Chen handed me a cup of brown sugar and ginger tea. Sister Sui, does your stomach hurt? I was extremely grateful. Xiao Chen remembered such a small thing very clearly. Thank you, baby Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen looked at me with pity. Sister Sui, I think it's better for you to go see a doctor when you have time. Your period is really too abnormal. My period has been abnormal since I was a child. When I went to the hospital for an examination, it was said to be polycystic ovary syndrome. After careful conditioning all along, there has been no improvement. Every time my period comes, my lower abdomen feels like a battlefield. Afraid that it won't come, but also afraid that it will come in a mess. It hurts. I'm afraid others will say I'm being overly dramatic. But if I say it doesn't hurt, it really hurts a lot. I sat at my workstation. I hardly moved at all in the whole morning. Xiao Chen came out of Wei Anking's office. Sister Su's UI. General Manager Su is calling you. Shall I tell him that you are not feeling well? I gritted my teeth and took a deep breath. With each step I took, it was like a small hammer hitting my nerves. Are you or Xiao Chen following up on the project in Machang? I wondered if there was something wrong with the project. This project has always been followed up by me. Is there any problem? Wei Anking closed his notebook. Go back and pack your luggage. We'll set off for Machang. I'll pick you up later. So sudden. I'm not feeling very well physically. But General Manager Liu, who is in charge of this project in Machang, is a difficult person. If Xiao Chen goes there, he may still be. Forget it. Yes. General Manager Su. I haven't been to Machang before. It takes at least 3 hours to get there from Zhongcheng. I've already packed my luggage at lightning speed. I don't know how many days I'll be there. I brought 2 sets of changeable clothes. After finishing packing, I was already sweating profusely and in great pain. Wei Anking sent me a WeChat message saying that he would arrive downstairs at my house in 10 minutes. I replied with a okay. Then I carried my suitcase downstairs and waited for him. I received a call from Mia, reminding me to keep an eye on her husband, Su's UI. Keep an eye on my husband for me. I smiled helplessly. Don't worry. He only has you in his heart. From the other end of the receiver came the sound of Wei Anking saying goodbye to her. After hanging up the phone, I sat on my suitcase and waited. Scarf, gloves, and a big cotton padded jacket. I didn't forget any of them. I wrapped myself up tightly. During this special period, it's still important to protect my life. I'm most afraid of the cold, especially when I have my period. I can't stand even a trace of wind getting into my neck. Wei Anking's car lights almost blinded me. He got out of the car and helped me with my luggage. He gave me a sidelong glance. I thought it was a snowman piled up by someone. Listen. How mean his mouth is. He put my luggage away. Then I opened the back door of the car and was about to get in. Before my butt even touched the seat, he said in a leisurely tone, sit in the front. That's Mia's exclusive seat. I'm embarrassed. I still need to have a sense of propriety. As if he saw my concern, Yao Yao asked you to sit there. It's okay. I can just sit in the back. Wei Anking said, do you take me as a driver? I didn't say that. I still obediently went to sit in the front. But because I was wearing too many clothes, it took me a lot of effort to climb up. Just as I was panting, a familiar teasing voice came from beside my ear. Little stupid pig. I looked at the person in front of me in disbelief. This is what Wei Anking said to me. Every time he came back from vacation, he would drive me out for a spin. In winter, I wore a lot of clothes and it took a lot of effort to climb onto his jeep. He always laughed at me and called me a little stupid pig. Isn't he really my Wai Anking? In the next second, Wai Anking explained to me, sorry. I mistook you for Yao Yao. I was dejected. So that's it. On the way, I sent a WeChat message to Yi, saying that my leader assigned me a task temporarily and I couldn't celebrate New Year's Eve with him. I'm sorry. It seemed that Yi's task wasn't over so quickly either. He told me it was okay and also told me to wear more clothes. I agreed to everything. The cold in Muchang was beyond my expectation. As soon as I got out of the car, the cold wind was piercing. It felt like ice chips were getting into my clothes. I tightened my overcoat and my legs were shivering. Wai Anking exchanged greetings with the colleague who came to connect. He glanced at me sideways. Very cold? I gritted my teeth. It's okay. Later, when I thought about it, why did I be so stubborn and suffer myself? The colleague who connected said that this was a famous restaurant in Muchang. But we came a little late. We had to wait for about 20 minutes. My legs were trembling. I began to regret saying that it was okay on such a cold day. I was about to turn into an ice sculpture. The night in Muchang was very lively. There were many children on the road holding snow clips and making snowballs to have snowball fights. In front of the restaurant, it was a scene of harmony. More and more children joined the team. I like snow very much because it has never snowed in Zhongcheng. Since it's not easy to come to Muchang. If I didn't have my period, I would definitely join the team and be the leader of the snowball fight. Wai Anking glanced at me. Want to play? I wanted to. But I was afraid of bleeding heavily. Forget it. I'm not feeling well today. Wai Anking took off the scarf around his neck and handed it to me. I quickly refused. Wrap it around. Wai Anking insisted again and again. So I didn't refuse anymore. As a result, the warm scarf was gently draped around my neck. That warmth was like a warm current, warming my neck and chest. The colleague who connected is called Away. He has been stationed at the branch in Muchang all the time and smiles without saying anything about our relationship. After waiting for another 5 minutes, a cold wind blew. I clearly felt my lips trembling. Ouch. I really couldn't stand this gust of wind. Wai Anking turned his head when he heard the sound and muttered in dissatisfaction. Then he reached out and helped me adjust the scarf. Stupid. Don't you even know how to wrap a scarf? Our relationship seems too intimate. I hurriedly took 2 steps back and stammered. No need. General Manager Su. I can do it myself. I was in a panic and wanted to adjust it myself. But in a hurry. I touched his hand. His distinct and fair fingers. With warm nails. At the moment of contact, it was like little sparks burning my skin. Wai Anking stopped. Then you do it yourself. Wai Anking suggested changing to another restaurant. Looking through the glass at the bustling scene in the restaurant, there was no sign that diners were about to leave. It meant that we still had to wait. Away said sorry to us. Sorry. General Manager Su. It's my fault for not arranging it properly. Wai Anking was reasonable. It's not your fault. We set off temporarily. And it's almost New Year. It's normal for there to be a lot of people. When we were about to leave, a group of playing children suddenly surrounded us. Perhaps seeing that I had been watching them play before, they wanted to pull me to play together. Several snowballs were thrown at me. So enthusiastic. Don't throw them into my clothes. Don't throw them into my clothes. I dodged by turning my head. A bit intimidated by this enthusiasm. The ice shards from the exploding snowballs didn't get into my neck. I fell into an embrace. A warm temperature came from above my head. Wai Anking's hand protected my head and pulled me into his arms. His overcoat was very large. Enough to wrap both of us.